Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
August 14, 2020, the Will Danny Sell edition. We begin with all our stories today come from the Wall Street Journal. First up, marketers are extending their social media scrutiny beyond Facebook. The July advertiser boycott against Facebook has highlighted the unwelcome way Facebook content generates results, and in the eyes of organizers, a flood of headlines. But part of the ad industry are taking a wider look at other social media players. Although there are no signs of new boycotts, the scrutiny could affect how social media companies handle hate speech, misinformation, and other content. If there is really a need for compliance, this would be a very appropriate time for a corporate compliance program to take a look at the issues which have bedeviled Facebook and led to the discussion against it. Next up, hunt for ex-Wirecard executive Jan Marsalek goes public in Germany. German investigators are asking the public to help find the former COO of Wirecard, who prosecutors say played a central role in inflating the fintech company's results by faking booked income for years. The German payments group was, of course, briefly worth more than the country's largest bank, has now filed for insolvency, particularly after disclosing $2 billion of its cash was fake. The CEO is under arrest, but the former COO is now believed to be in Russia. Next up, the U.S. has, for the first time, confiscated vessels allegedly loaded with Iranian fuel in violation of U.S. sanctions as it steps up its campaign of maximum pressure against Tehran. Last month, federal prosecutors filed suit to seize 4 tankers worth of gasoline Iran was sailing to Venezuela in the latest salvo of the administration's efforts to stifle the flow of goods and money that are helping keep 2 of its top foes in power. At this time, it's unclear if they would be successful or would be able to take control of the tankers after an attempt to seize another tanker through U.S. forfeiture was unsuccessful last year. Nevertheless, it is not deterring U.S. Officials from moving forward. And finally, will Danny sell? Danny, of course, is Dan Snyder of the Washington football team, and the minority partners are pressuring him to sell the team, and amid a growing fight inside the team, which is facing controversies on multiple fronts. Obviously, the name imbroglio is the one that everyone is aware of, but there's a huge foobar and now very public investigation around the team's toxic work environment, particularly around sexual harassment and racial discrimination. And the minority owners of the team are frankly fed up with Snyder's incompetence in not only running the football side of the business, but also on the business side of the business. Several minority owners have either threatened to or have released negative information about Snyder and the Washington football team. So this is going to be an interesting story to see what the NFL does. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.